this one. Good. And start recording. And last time, I think we talked about all the Hinduism and the Buddhism developed. Why they start? Well, what kind of the social environment influences these two religions? Yeah, two religions that is really influential in our history too. And this is a and in the end of the last class, we also talk about the trading is very important. The trading influences this two religion to other country, to other world. Like you go to the China, go to the even the modern society, the Buddhism go to the Western culture. It's not because of trading, it's also because of the immigration. So this class, we will talk about the seafaring traders. The traders include the millions and the agency, the Phoenicians and the Knossos, and also the King Minos. And this time we're going to talk about the seafaring traders. And this kind of seafaring traders, not the seafaring traders like during the big sailing age, like during the 1950s, it's not like that way. There was just the near sea trading. You can see all the route is near the land. They didn't trading far away. Yeah, like go to the very deep sea. They didn't. They go to like this kind of place. They didn't go there. The basically is along the coast trade. It's just along the coast trade, just go like this. And also a lot of the trading thing happened in the Mediterranean Sea. And this part of we will involved with the civilizations like the Phoenicians in their states like Babylon, Sidon, and Tyre. Yeah, the three regions that were traded to other places. You can see the trading route is far away, but actually it's not very into the big ocean. It didn't go into the big ocean. It's all along the coast side. So any of you know why they were just along the coast side and trading like this way? Okay, no one knows, so that's let me answer by myself. So imaginary students. Actually, this kind of Phoenicians, they will just treat like this way because they don't have a too advanced sailing technology. They can just along the near sea. They cannot just sailing to the far away oceans. The sailing technology is not enough. Like the campus, they don't have that kind of knowledge that's like campus that come from the China, so they don't have that technology. They may lost when they travel to the deep sea, like they cannot go to this far, they cannot go to this far, right? So basically that's why they were just trading near the coast. Even in the Arabian Sea, they just you can see this travel across an island. So this is really dangerous. You go to the really deep sea. Yeah, that's maybe the wave will cost their lives. Yeah. Okay, that's a reason why. And continue. Part. Let's talk about the first civilization that disappeared in our history, but is really influential too during the far sea trade. The first civilization we're gonna talk about is the Minoans trading in the Mediterranean. Yeah, Minoans is in here. In a very it should be not very far away from the Greece and the Anatolian. Should be here. Let me check. Yeah, it should be in this map. It should be here. You can see this is an island, right? So this people were just treated to other places. Yeah, it's Canosos. Yeah, Canosos. Great. So they are Mennonians. Let's compare to the map. Let's go back to the textbook. This Mennonian dominates the trade of Eastern Mediterranean from 2000 and 1400 BC. They lived on Crete, a large island, the source edge of the Aegean Sea. Yeah, the Aiqinhai, the Aegean Sea. The Mennonians produced some of the finest painting pottery of the time. They treated the pottery along with sword, figuring, and the vessels of precious metal over the large area. So here is a question: Does treaty is necessary to them? No, I mean, does the treaty is essential to them, or is that they just want to trade? Is it essential to the Mennonian people? Okay, still no one answer. So let me answer by myself. Actually, it's really essential to them because there's a when you can see this is a very lonely island far away from the Greece and the Anatolia, far away from the big land, right? So this is an island. So they don't have too much area to grow food, right? So and according to the Mediterranean environment, there is a note. It is not that suitable to grow very productive food like the rice and the wheat. Yeah, they don't. It's not too suitable for them. So it's essential for them that to trade their pottery to other place and trade for food. Yeah. So this is essential for them. This is not just a trade for fun. It's maybe this trade for gold. Yeah, this is essential for them. They need more food to survive. So that's why they need to trade actually. And another question. Another question. Why they trade with sold? Yeah. Why they trade with sold? Not is that a very Euro that in the American that any of the shop has a gun? Yeah, that means that every the shop owner need a gun to protect themselves. Yeah, maybe necessary in America, but actually in China it's not necessary. Not every trader need a gun to protect themselves. Yeah, they need a gun with their trading. Right? Why they take weapon with their trading? I think trading is a very peaceful activity. Right? Doesn't need too much for war for violence. Why did they take a sword with them?
Is it to defend themselves against the robbers?
Why? Okay, you can think about it. Because this is a very important question about the social cultural thing. Okay, still no one know, right? Still no one know why they take a sword. Actually, because this is really essential for them to trade for food. Sometimes the trade is successful. That will trade their pottery, trade the precious metal to other civilizations. Then they get their food. Yeah, so food is very essential to people. I always emphasize this thing. If no one can live without food, right? So they need to trade this thing with other civilizations. Yeah. But sometimes this is not that successful. Not everyone trade food with them. Not every civilization, maybe that civilization they didn't need the pottery, the fine pottery. They didn't need the precious metal, but they also have food. So for the trader in the Mannonians, they will rob them. Yeah, they will rob them. Or we will say that another word is parity. Yeah, because they will trade on the sea by a boat. They will do some pirating thing, like they will just rob the village. Yeah, they may rob the village for food. Actually, that's a two side of their trading. Yeah. If the trade is successful, they trade. If the trading is not that successful, they rob. Okay. So basically, this is a parroting culture of the Europeans, and also this parroting culture influenced the Americans. Yeah, that's a parroting culture for the basically for the European and American. Another word for the how to say that word is another word for the white people. Let me think. That should be 高加索人. Yeah, maybe that's but forget the English name. Yeah, actually that's really different from China. And let's think about our culture. Let's think about it. Yeah, your Chinese culture. Yeah, your Chinese culture. It's your Chinese American, right? So your Chinese culture. So in the Western society, there is a maybe they will say, okay, my ancestor is a parrot, right? But I rarely see the people will say, okay, in China, really proud of your ancestor is a robbery and it's a robber. To rarely see that. It's in my experience, no one in China will proud of their ancestor is a robber and all the parrot. That's a really different from that. Yeah, in the European culture, they will say, okay, yeah, yes, my ancestor is really famous in parroting something like that. But in China, it's really different. Yeah, no one will proud for their ancestor is a parrot. It's a parrot. Yeah, they really be criminal. And actually, in China, it's rarely see people will say, my ancestor is a parrot, and he always killing people and trading and rob other civilizations like that. Actually, in our culture, it's rarely see. So actually, this kind of the traditional culture for the Western society also influenced their behavior even today, right? Even today, even in the modern society, they will trade with other countries like the near history, in the modern history, they will invade China. They actually in the beginning they want to trade with China, right? In the Qing dynasty, but the Qing dynasty refused to trade with them, so they begin to rob them, the killing Chinese people, and use their gun, use their big metal ship to open the Chinese gate, right? Yeah, the Chinese sea gate, and invade China deeply. Yeah, that's want to colonize Chinese want to colonize China, yeah, and also take away Hong Kong, Taiwan, and a lot of the place from China. So that's a this seems the logic didn't change since the Minoan trade in the Mediterranean, because they think, okay, the trade is successful, and I will trade with you. If the trade is not successful, okay, I'm gonna kill you and take away all the things that you have. Yeah, that's really weird logic, but actually they use this logic to counter the word. Yeah, the violence is inside their mind, right? And then in the political thing, yeah, no makes everyone is dislike this logic. Yeah, but this kind of culture indeed influenced their developing different developing way that the Chinese have and the Western European have. So now you understand, right? Okay, good. So along with their good amenities, also export their art and culture. This includes a unique architecture, architectural, burial customs, and the religion's ritual. Many culture had a major influence on Greece. For example, trading turns Greece into a stepping stone for cultural exchange throughout the Mediterranean world. Yeah, because it's traded with other civilizations, so other civilizations also influenced him too. So trading is really magic thing during that time. But for the trading like in the Mediterranean Sea, that's really easy to trading because in the Mediterranean Sea that's not too much wave, and there's also a peaceful inner sea, because so that trading is really flourishing in that time and in that place. Okay, so the next caption is unearthing the British civilization. And after that, this kind of civilization, that's we call it Minoan cities. There was just gone because of the severe weather change. Like they have earthquakes. They have the kind of volcanic eruption, and this kind of the bad weather made this civilization disappear in our history. Yeah. And actually, to talk about their culture, basically the culture, they have a myth called, according to the myth, the Minos was a king who owned a half human, half bull monster called a Minotaur. He keeps the monster locked in a maze. Right? This is the kind of the it should be mythology, right? So not a real thing. Yeah, should not be the real thing. Okay, yeah. And then in their culture, they really like the acrobats and the good at they're really good at the acrobats, and they really like to do the acrobats with bulls. I don't understand why. It looks very dangerous, right? It looks very dangerous that when people do acrobats with the bulls, and they were just but actually they just do it. The archaeologists still don't know why they do this kind of dangerous thing, like the religious ritual. It's a initiation for the young warrior. Or it's a fun activity. We don't know, but I don't think it's fun. It's in the modern perspective, this is really dangerous, right? It's people doing this kind of acrobatic. You can imagine that even in the modern society, we can be like in this Spanish, they will do this kind of to fight with the bull, right? Yeah, it's really dangerous even today. Yeah, they may accidentally die because were treated with this fiercest animal. Yeah, and also there was it says in this culture the woman have a higher status in the society because they have a great Mother Earth goddess. Yeah, since they rule over other gods of the Crete. Yeah, to talk about their religions. Yeah, so this really different from other civilization. Basically, that's it. That's it. And this civilization just disappeared in the long history river. Okay. The Minoan culture and the mysterious end. You can read this part. You can see that in the about 1700 BC, great disaster, perhaps the earthquake, destroys the Minoan town and city. The Minoans rebuild the city with equal richness. Then in the 1470 BC, a series of earthquake rocked Crete, and the quakes were followed by a violent volcanic eruption on the neighboring island of Terra. Imagine the shaking on the earth and the fiery volcanic blast, then a huge tidal wave, and finally a ring of white volcanic ash. The disaster of 1470 BC was a blow from which the Minoans never fully recovered. It's hard to recover from this series of disaster, right? It's too hard to recover. And this time the Minoans had trouble rebuilding their city. Nonetheless, Minoan civilization did linger for the almost 300 years after that. Invaders from the Greece may have taken advantage of their wicked condition of this to destroy them. Some Minoans fled to the mountain and to escape the ruin of the kingdom. Creates influence as a major sea power and the culture force was over. Yeah, it's over of this kind of civilization. But then we can also say that trading is really important because even they just disappeared in the 300 years. Yeah, in 300 years, their cultural influence still exists. Yeah, and their trading skill, their trading about their trading traditional also influence Phoenicians. Yeah, these people. We'll continue to talk about these people. So you can see that for the European, they're really lucky, and there's not too much high mountains. There's a lot of the sea that they can use to travel. They can use their boat to travel along this area, so that you can see the culture and the technology were trading to each other. But if you see other places like the let me find a word map. Yeah, if you see the other place like the South American, yeah, there's too much of the sea surrounded them. They can just not go outside from the left, yeah, from the source and from the east, right? Yeah, from north there is there's a really narrow bridge, yeah, in here, and because they don't have this. The sea travel is really dangerous, so they don't have the motivation to do that. And also this in the South American, there's too much mountain there, so this is really hard for them to trade with each other and communicate, especially communicate with the European, with the Australian, with the African. This is really cut from. They were just like a cast off from the civilization, other civilizations. So this is why they just developed so slow until the other civilizations found them. other cities found them in the night. I guess in the 17th century. Yeah, in the 17th century. So really lucky for Europeans. Yeah, they can just use this convenient natural condition to trade with each other. Yeah, they're really hard for other civilizations. Okay. So next part we will talk about the Phoenicians. Phoenicians spread trade and civilization. So about 1100 BC, after the Crete decline, the most powerful trader along the Mediterranean Sea were the Phoenicians. Phoenician was a mainly area known as Lebanon. The Phoenicians were never united into a country. Instead, they found a number of the wealthy city-states around the Mediterranean that sometimes competed with one another. The first city is a Phoenician. So first city in Phoenicia, such as Babylon, Tyre, and Sidon, were important trading center. Yeah. Let me show you again this three places. Here is a Babylon, here is a Sidon, and this is city Tyre. Then actually the Phoenicians is not just that, like Memphis, yeah, and Jerusalem, yeah, all of them, yeah, it's all of the city states. But unlike in the Kenosis, yeah, in as Crete, like for the Menes, the Menes is actually they have a state, they're not city state. They united as a kingdom, but actually for the Phoenicians, they're just city states. So they don't have a unified culture. They also compete with each other. Let's go back to here. The Phoenicians were remarkable shipbuilder and seafarers. They were first the Mediterranean people to venture beyond the Strait of Gibraltar. Some scholars believe that the Phoenician traded 14 with inhabitants of the south coast of Britain. They even go to Britain, and some evidence exists for even more remarkable feat, sailing around the continent of Africa by way of Red Sea and back through the Strait of the Gibraltar. Such a treaty was not repeated again for 2,000 years. The Greek historian Herodotus related the feat. Primary source. The Phoenicians set out from the Red Sea and sailed the Southern Sea, the Indian Ocean. Whenever autumn come, they would put in and sow the land to whatever part of the Libya, Africa they might come, and they await the harvest. Then harvesting gathered the crop. They sailed on. So after 2 years had passed, it was the third. They rounded to the fillers of the Haraco, the Strait of Gibraltar. They come to Egypt. They said said what some may believe thought I do not, that the sailing around the Libya, they had the sun on their right hand in reverse position. So they will go to the other side of the world. So according to their tales, right? The tales they said there's an inversely that's go to like it because it's the other side of the earth. So yeah, they go to the Africa, so the other side of the world. So they think that the people was just just inversely moving, right? So the sun was inverted in their hand. Actually, this thing is not true, right? It's not true according to our knowledge now. Yeah. The commercial outposts around the Mediterranean. Also, this Phoenicians, most important cities is in the eastern Mediterranean were Sidon and Tyre, both known for their production of the red purple dye, and Babylon's a trading center of the papyrus. The Phoenicians built the colonies in the northern coast of Africa and the coast of the Sicily, Sardinia, and Spain. The colonies were about 3 miles apart from the distance of the Phoenician ship could sail in a day. The greatest Phoenician colony was the Carthage in the North Africa, settled from the Tyre, founded the Carthage about 814 BC. The Phoenician traded goods they got it from other land, wine, weapons, precious metal, ivory, and the slaves. They also were known as the superb crafts people who worked in wood, metal, glass, ivory. Their red purple dye was produced from the murex, a kind of the snail that lived in the waters of Sidon and Tyre. Snails, when left to rot, produced just a drop or two of the liquid of a deep red purple color. Some 60,000 snails were needed to produce the 1 pound of dye, which only royalty could afford. Yeah. The Phoenicians' great legacy, the alphabet. So as merchants, the Phoenicians needed a way to recording the transaction early, clearly, and quickly. The Phoenicians developed a writing system that used the symbol to represent the sound. The Phoenician system was called phonetics. Yeah, this is the sign was used for one sound. In fact, the word alphabet come directly from the first 2 letters of the Phoenician alphabet, the Alph and the Beth. And as they traveled around the Mediterranean, the Phoenicians introduced the writing system to their trading partner. The Greek, for example, adopted the Phoenician alphabet and changed their form of some letter. You can see this Greek version, the Phoenician version of the alphabet. I guess the A is also like the A, right? The B is a little bit different. And you can see the Greek version is really like the English version. Is a C. Doesn't change too much, right? So just a change of direction. The D should be a triangle, but it's an E. Yeah, it's a reverse version of E. But they don't have too much like the modern society one. Yeah, because the ZHOI is looks like a one signal. Yeah. But if you really feel interested about this thing, you can just check it one by one. In the Greek, they also have some omega, have some phi, and the delta thing. Yeah, in the delta thing. Yeah. So this thing is also used in the math, right? Okay. We can see the Phoenician Phoenician treated just like the beginning of the class. I see just treated along the coast. Yeah. You cannot trade far away. Yeah, far away is not that possible. Okay. Phoenician trade. Phoenician was located in a great spot of trade because it lay along the well-traveled route between the Egypt and Asia. You can see this is the Egypt. This part. It's Egypt. It's Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, this part. And also this in this place, is Phoenicia, yeah, the Phoenician, and also this part, another part. This part is Asian. Right? You can see the Asian people, they just go here, yeah, and also there were Asians go here, and also they will shortly across to the Phoenician. Then they go to Egypt, and they go to Egypt, and they will go to here. Yeah. So this is the way they go, right? So they were just set in a crossroad of the Western and Eastern culture. Yeah. However, the Phoenicians did more than just the trade with merchants who happened to pass through their region. The Phoenicians become the expert sailor and went looking for opportunity to make money. Yeah. They're not just the trade with passing by. They actually the expert sailor. They will just go out to trade with others, and also they have this kind of property like both merchant and parrot. They will just go outside. If it's trading successful, okay, I will trade. If the trading not successful, they will also just rob others, maybe invade other country. Like if they have colonies, yeah, they have colonials. Yeah, that means that they invade others to get what they need. Right? This is a basic merchant ship that the Phoenician sailor developed the round boat, a ship that was very wide and had a rounded bottom. This shape created a large space for cargo. You can see the round down space. You have a space under the boat, right? They can just store a lot of things. The Phoenician ship often were decorated with a horse head. Yeah. The wicker fence run around the outer edge of the upper deck. Yeah. But actually, this fence is really weaker. This is not too strong. So that you can see this kind of the ship. It actually cannot travel along the ocean, right? It's not big enough, not too much supply that they can use, and not too much people they can use in this kind of sailing. And foreigner wanted to cater on accurate wood that grow in Phoenicia. They will take the wood just put that into the water too if they want to transport the wood. But the wood can float on the sea. But actually, this maybe water will go in. Because the quality may be not that fine. Those pottery were jars with pointed bottom called the amorphous. They hold oil or wine. Yeah, this kind of thing. They hold oil or wine in their inside. The most desired financial trade items dye purple clothes. Yeah, the purple dyed clothes. Yeah, this thing is for other country for the rich people. Yeah, they need this kind of thing. You can see there's also the sword. Yeah. They have the weapon in their ship. Yeah, this not just because they want to trade this kind of weapon. They need to fight with others. Like maybe the parity and the parity may rob each other. You can see what they were just take down their cargo and they will trade with others like this way. Yeah, like for example, the Phoenician writing exists. Most of the writing were the Parians, which crumbled over time. However, the Phoenician contribution to the word was enormous. With a simplified alphabet, learning was now accessible to more people. Because their alphabet is like English, they can use because it's according to the pronunciation way to invent the alphabet, so they can just pronounce it very easily. The Phoenician trade was upset when their earliest city were captured by the assurance in 402 BC. However, this defeat encouraged Excelled to set up the city-states like the Carthage to the west, the Phoenicians' homeland later came under the control of the Babylonians and of the Persian Empire of King Cyrus I. So the King Cyrus is really famous when the Persian and the Greece war. This is so this is a far away topic we will talk about in the future. One of their most lasting contribution remains the spread of the alphabet. Okay, so this is this class what we talk about, and next class we will also continue to talk about the origin of the Judaism. Yeah, we will talk about another religions. Okay, this is the history class today. Any questions, guys? No question?
No. Thank you. Bye.
No question. This is it, and see you next class. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.